Hello guys, welcome back to another video here in the Beginner Banjo series videos, guys. This is video number 5. We're video number 5, guys. If you've made it this far, congratulations. I'm very, very proud of you. You're doing awesome. Keep it up. Today's video, I want to talk about a practice schedule when you're trying to learn to play the banjo. Now, I'm doing this Beginner Banjo series, guys, to try to teach people how to start as a complete beginner and work it all the way up to playing Foggy Mountain Breakdown at the end of this series. And so that's what I'm working on. If you're interested in watching the whole series starting from the beginning, I will put a link right up here, and you can click that link. It'll take you to a playlist on YouTube that will show you every video in this series, and you can watch them from the first to the end. All right, guys, so let's talk about a practice schedule when you're learning to play the banjo. First and foremost, myself personally, I don't like to call them practice sessions. I don't like to schedule practice sessions. I look at it more as spending time with my banjo. Just like you would spend time with your mom and dad, just like you would spend time with your wife. I look at it as spending time with my banjo. It's not something that I dread, not something that I don't want to do. It's something that I have a need to do every day. Now, with that being said, every time you visit your family, every time you visit your wife, every second that you get with that person, you cherish, whether it's 10 minutes, whether it's an hour, whether it's 4 hours. And that's the same way I look at practice schedule on your banjo. I try to spend time with my banjo every single day. Now, whether that's 10 minutes with my banjo or whether that's 2 hours with my banjo, I try to spend time with it every day. Whether I pick it up and I go through just softly picking through the strings to get my fingers used to where the strings are at in relationship to where my hand's at, whether that's holding chords. If I want to fret a chord up here, if I'm going to an F to a C, I can sit and practice that, and I can even sit and practice that without even making noise. I can just practice going from one to the other. There's something to be said about dedicated practice time with your banjo, trying to accomplish something, okay? But also, there's times that you just don't have time to sit down for an hour. Daisy, shut up! There's also times that you don't have time to sit down and spend an hour practicing your banjo, which is fine. I really recommend finding at some point in time during the day to spend a little time with your banjo, whether it's an hour, whether it's 10 minutes. If you can sit down for 10 minutes while you're watching TV and just practice fretting chords on your banjo, you ain't thinking about it, you ain't making noise, you ain't affecting anybody else in the room, but you can sit and just practice fretting chords. So there's a lot of things that you can do to practice your banjo without actually practicing your banjo, and that's why I call it spending time with your banjo, because you don't really have to practice it as much as you just got it with you and you're playing around. And like me down here downstairs, sometimes I'll come downstairs and watch TV, and I'll have the TV on. Well, if it goes into commercial, as it's in commercial, I can sit here and run rolls with my right hand to work on my right hand techniques. Right? And so when the show comes back on, you can watch it, and then just sit with your left hand and think about, okay, I'm going to do chords where I don't have to think about it. It's just there. Starting out playing the banjo, that's one of the worst things, is feeling the dread of I have to practice my banjo for an hour. I've got to practice it every day for an hour if I want to get any better. And that's somewhat true. You've got to put some time in it to get better. But don't put that pressure on yourself to say that I've got to do it every single day, because you can find time every day to spend with your banjo that isn't necessarily taking an hour of running rolls and doing this and learning the song or whatever. Now, when you do have time, you can sit down and try to learn a song or whatever. But if you don't have time, you can always sit there, when you're relaxing and just kind of just hold chords. Practice pull-off and hammer-ons. So I guess my whole point behind this video, the less you try to make practicing your banjo a chore and more you make it like it's part of your everyday ritual of doing things, the more time you're going to spend with it and pick it up. Because If it's a chore to you that you've got to pick it up for an hour, you'll be like, oh, I'll just get it tomorrow. I'll just practice tomorrow. And it'll sit there and you'll go 2 or 3 days and won't practice. But if you're in the mindset of, I don't got to practice for an hour, but I can pick it up and sit there while I'm watching TV and just fret my notes, fret my chords, work down the neck, think about, say, okay, I'm going to figure out where the F chord is at up the neck, and I'm going to just practice getting my fingers on that. I recommend practicing at least 10 minutes a session to get anything out of it. And if you're going to build repetition, you're going to have to do it day after day after day. But all I'm trying to tell you guys is just don't turn it into a chore. If you can spend 10 minutes a day with it, spend 10 minutes a day with it. If you can spend 2 hours with it, spend 2 hours with it. Just enjoy it, have fun. Guys, thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video.